East shooting at 47%. We talked about the 6 of 20 from downtown. You see points in the paint as Doug touched on, 50 to 28 in favor of the West, and 20 assists for the Western Conference squad on 30 field goal attempts. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, I talked to Phil Jackson. He said he did get great production from his bench. However, the starters deserved to play. They were the ones voted on by the fans. So he's going to start the starting 5 that he had at the beginning of the game and play them the majority of the minutes in the second half. He said we are encouraging the East to take those threes. He says the more they take, the happier we are. And yes, we will continue to pound the ball into the paint to take advantage of our height. Now over to David Aldridge.
Well, Craig, Mike Brown says in the second half we may see a little bit of zone. Wants to shake things up a little bit. Kevin Garnett just told me he's good for about 5 or 6 good hard minutes, and then he might be done for the night. Mike Brown also said Danny Granger and Allen Iverson in the second half, a little wear and tear for both of them coming into the All-Star game. He may limit their minutes somewhat in the second half. Otherwise, everybody else is good to go. Marv?
All right, guys, Mike Brown has his Cleveland Cavaliers at 40-11, second best record in the East behind Boston, and has been a defensive-geared coach. Even though this is an all-star game, you see 72 points up on the board at halftime. That does not feel good. West ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Yao Ming on that hook coming up short. And back comes Iverson. Iverson challenging Yao, and the ball back to the West.
Oh, when you got a 6'1" guy challenging a 7'3" guy, kind of throw it over the backboard extension, I guess the 7'3" guy wins.
And the West opens up with Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, and Amari Stoudemire up front. This is the starting lineup. Phil Jackson going back to it. Here is Yao. And that is his first field goal.
Well, Phil Jackson told us before the game that Yao Ming really only wanted to play about the first 6 minutes of the game and the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. You see, they're going to him early, I think, maybe to get some production, and then he's probably going to be through here rather quickly.
LeBron James, yes, and the foul. And notice the guys stepping out of the way. You do not want to get hit by LeBron.
Well, you don't want to get hit, but you also don't want to get dunked on. Right here, nice body and air control. Gets up in the air, switches hand, a la Michael Jordan.
That reminds me of the NBA Finals, the Game 2, Lakers and the Bulls, and the call by Marvelous, a spectacular move by Jordan.
Commercial.
Thank you very much.
Marv Albert.
Stoudemire was called on that foul on LeBron, and then Amari getting a piece of the glass.
Well, that's what you're seeing a lot from him this year, the pick and pop game, and he's been a little bit turnover prone and shot happy from that perimeter, and I think that's one of the things that has disappointed these Phoenix fans this year, is him not playing in the paint as much.
LeBron lost it on the deflection, and Paul able to finish. The West with a 78-70 lead. Just getting underway here in the third. Garnett, the big ticket in his 12th All-Star game, now has 10 points. Bryant being played tightly by Wade. Bryant able to recover and scores. But as we mentioned earlier, you see players defending, which you don't often see in all-star competition.
Well, it was a high-scoring first half, but it was competitive. It wasn't like guys were running down and just dunking. I mean, guys were making shots, guys were making an attempt, and that's what made this very much a fun game to watch today.
Not exactly intensive defensive play, but at least there you see another block shot as Yao was stopped by Howard.
You got to understand, these are the same guys that won a gold medal as Dwayne Wayne pulls up for three. They won a gold medal over in Beijing, so there's a lot of familiarity with each other, and defense was their staple.
All right, here's Stoudemire. Got the step. Amari Stoudemire averaging 21 a game for the Suns. And as we touched on earlier, the subject of much trade speculation. Iverson. The box out by Stoudemire. Ball played by Iverson. Duncan being guarded by James. And here is Duncan, rejected, but that's a goaltend. Dwight Howard looking for the block. And the basket will count.
This is the Amari Stoudemire that people here in Phoenix love. The guy who drives that ball to the basket with his spectacular finishes. But, in fairness to him, with Shaquille O'Neal in that post, there's not nearly as much space down there. The Suns are not nearly as good a three-point shooting team. So that lane has collapsed this year on them, unlike in the past with Mike D'Antoni with all those three-point shooters, and that lane was wide open.
LeBron being played by Stoudemire. Garnett set the pick. Howard adjusting for the bucket, and he was fouled.
You see the look on Yao Ming's face. I mean, this game is so fast for him. I thought it was interesting. He was talking about the game, and he said, you know what? This game is just too fast for me. I feel like I'm doing a running test out there. And so you could see that they're just not quick enough to get over and move his feet. And in fairness to him, this is a guy who's put a lot of miles on that body. He had the broken foot last year, missed time, did play for the China team over in Beijing, which was a spectacular day to watch him play. There's a steal here by Wade.
Wade with the wide open shot. Try to go glass. Rebounded by Yao, and he is fouled by Garnett.
But Yao Ming, as big as he is, you have to be so careful about those stress fractures. He's had all kinds of problems with his feet, and Houston being very, very careful with him today, talking to Phil Jackson about please limiting his minutes.
Yes, he's been injury prone the last 3 years, and that major injury, stress fracture in his left foot. Nice touch by Paul, and the concern with Yao has to be, can his feet support a 7'6", 310-pound player throughout an 82-game season?
Well, remember, Zydrunas Ilgauskas went through about a 4-year period almost with the same kind of injury and was almost missed 4 full seasons.
James with a long three-point attempt. The West in possession. They lead by 12. Bryant for 3.
I like the way he stared down Dwight Howard right there. Gave him a little ball fake, freeze him a little bit, and just rise up.
Wade with the open 3. It's a 3-on-2 for the West. Paul goes all the way. Very close to a travel. Looked like he was going to give it up to Bryant on the wing.
Well, you can see what's interesting about this Western team's defense. I mean, they're just packing the paint. You have all these slashers and cutters and just defending at the basket, not shooting a good percentage from 3. But Kobe Bryant, sort of looking at his teammate Dwight Howard. They got the beautiful championship rings at halftime and saying, you're out of your vicinity out here behind this three-point line. Get back in the paint.
Foul on Howard is 3rd. Don't miss all new episodes of TNT's hit series Leverage, Tuesdays at 10, 9 Central, only on TNT. Amari Stoudemire, an 83% free throw shooter. First player to go straight from high school for the NBA to be named Rookie of the Year. Now LeBron James and Dwight Howard followed up on that.
He's going to have to start making some shots, especially from three-point range. They don't have the size, they have the speed, but they got to make some outside shots.
Biggest lead of the night for the West. Strong move by Wade to get inside. He has 11. Ball using the pick. Iverson able to stay with him. Stoudemire trying to split his way through, and the ball's deflected away. 10 on the shot clock. The West in possession. The East has won 3 of the last 4 in All-Star play. They won last year in New Orleans. It's fouled, so Shaq will head to the line. Joe Johnson has missed on his 3 shot attempts. Originally a first-round pick of the Celtics, and following his days with Boston, acquired by Phoenix, spent 4 years with the Suns, and then traded to the Hawks in the deal involving Boris Diaw, a couple of draft picks, and he has been thriving in Atlanta. Well, you can vote for the game that you want to see on NBA TV. Special fan night voting extends through tonight's All-Star game, and results will be announced on a special episode of Inside the NBA on NBA TV following the NBA All-Star game. There's a brick thrown up by...
Oh, that's a shocker.
And Wednesday on ESPN, it's Orlando at New Orleans, followed by the Lakers at Golden State. Next Sunday on ABC, the Celtics and the Suns from Phoenix. And Shaq will head back to the line.
You know, Mark, just to follow a bit of that Joe Johnson story, this week on one of the radios here in Phoenix, Robert Sarver, who owns the Phoenix Suns, basically came out and said, you know, I made a mistake. We should have re-signed Joe Johnson the year before he became that free agent. They had a chance to sign him to a $50 million deal. Decided to let him become a free agent, and he decided then to go on to Atlanta. There's Robert Sarver. He ended up signing a 5-year, $70 million deal in Atlanta, and how that Atlanta team now, he went through some lean times, Marl, like you talked about, but that's a very young and exciting team that took the Boston Celtics to 7 games last year in the first round of the playoffs.
Shaq now 1 of 4 at the line. Pierce lost it. Recovered by Lewis. Shaq has to be considered in the running for MVP honors the way things are going here.
Well, he's in the running, especially he's out here guarding point guards the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Well, we see that often where, you know, a guy plays on his home court and guys really work to get him the ball. We've seen it through the years where the local guys have been the MVPs.
There's Parker rimming out on the 3, and it's Shaq showing the lively legs. It was not thought that he would get as many minutes. Parker, again, from downtown, but Shaq missed his first field goal attempt, but since then, he's hit 8 in a row as this third quarter comes to a close. The West 110 and the East 91. Fans, you can vote for the All-Star Game MVP during the fourth quarter of this game by logging on to NBA.com or by texting your vote to 38657. It's the West 110 and the East 91. You're watching the 58th NBA All-Star Game on TNT. In this 2009 NBA All-Star Game is Dodger manager, controversial author Joe Torre, actor/comedian Chris Tucker, as we check the star-studded crowd, including Terrell Owens of the Dallas Cowboys,
MVP of the celebrity game,
John King and Dana Bash from CNN, and Eva Longoria Parker, or Reggie and Doug, as you know her, Mrs. Solis from Desperate Housewives.
Gabrielle?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Both of you guys know that. See, I did not know that.
That's one of my favorite shows. I do not miss it.
Okay. Who knew?
Reggie just not on the cutting edge here in terms of important cultural events.
Wow.
Well, you can see that zone defense that Phil Jackson talked about playing. That's basically what they're doing. Anytime that ball goes to the wing, they just load up the floor. It's a zone, no place really to go. It's Brandon Roy takes his eye off the ball, and that third quarter, Marv, only 2 turnovers for the West.
Mo Williams off the mark, but Rashard Lewis is right there. Both teams have made changes. Pau Gasol is back along with Dirk Nowitzki, Brandon Roy, Phillips, and Parker in the backcourt.
See if the East, they're going to switch everything, and they can try to make a little spurt here, get back in this game.
Nowitzki. Rashard Lewis has returned. Mo Williams at the point. Here's Allen. So Ray Allen on the reverse. He has 8 points.
Ray Allen's having a terrific year, a much more efficient year than he had last year. He even talked about that. His shooting is up, his three-point shooting, his free throw shooting, second in the NBA. He said his goal every year, Reggie, and you would appreciate this as a shooter, 50% from the field as Tony Parker knocks down a jumper, but 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He never has done that in his career, but is very close this year to making that happen.
Pierce able to drill it, and Ray and Reggie are the only 2 players in NBA history to hit 2,000-plus 3-pointers. Ray with 2,100. Reggie apparently slipped one in earlier. 2,560, I guess, including the 2 you hit tonight.
I guess so.
Yeah.
They were almost teammates, too.
Oh, see, that's how rumors get started,
They were
Coach.
almost teammates.
That's how rumors get started, Coach.
Doc Rivers had checked you out on a couple of occasions, although Danny Ainge disputed it. He said, no, he's really talking about your sister, Cheryl.
Yes, we look alike.
Here's the lob. Oh, Brandon Roy from Tony Parker.
You know, he's a sneaky leaper.
Yes, he is.
You know, when you watch him, you don't think he gets up that high, and then all of a sudden you see him finishing against these bigger players.
Williams. Oh, Williams did on with that shot. 116.99. The West on top. Parker tried to go behind the back, and it's last touched by Lewis. Let's go to Craig.
Well, with me is Phoenix Suns season ticket holder, Arizona Senator John McCain with his wife Cindy. And who's your favorite All-Star out there, and what's impressed you in the game so far?
So far, it's got to be Shaq. I think he's trying to prove to everybody that he's still the MVP. Missed his first shot, and then I think made the next 8. Nobody's stopping him.
You're doing a good job. You could be our stat man. Terry Porter apparently was informed tonight that he will not be the coach of the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. They're going to replace him. When Senator Obama, now President Obama, said that he wanted to change, I don't think he was talking about your Phoenix Suns. What's happened to this proud franchise?
Well, I think they're lacking in the chemistry, but we wish Terry Porter well. He's a great guy, and we wish him. He's a great coach. We wish him well.
All right, thanks a lot. Now that you have more time in your hands, with all due respect, maybe you can help break the ship to the Phoenix Suns.
Maybe so, but I don't know if they need help from a politician.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Marv.
Well put.
He must be listening to your telecast, Marv, throwing out the stats that you just had spoke up.
Apparently, he's keeping score.
Why don't we switch him and Paul out? Paul, why don't you go over there and sit next to Cindy and Eva and have the senator come on over here?
Politicians are always polling numbers. Electoral college, popular vote, all the numbers.
Reggie lashing out, our statistician Paul Evans, who was in tears, depressed. Nowitzki able to knock it down. The West now leads 118-99. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Pretty pass.
Yes.
Devin Harris from Mo Williams.
Marv, you see Devin Harris on a nightly basis. What has impressed you the most about Devin Harris this year?
The dazzling speed with the ball. The way he and Vince Carter have played together so effectively as Parker is able to hit. And the consistency of Harris just had perhaps a one-off period when he was battling injuries, but he's had a tremendous year. A timeout called. 120, 101 the score. The West on top, and Benny the Bull has found a new friend, Spike Lee.
I don't know about that.
Spike,
Benny, what are you doing?
Does not look thrilled.
Put the top hat on, Spike.
Oh! Why you want to do me like that? 108 games in a row with a steal? Makes sense, huh?
Don't do it. Don't do it, coach. Hit him on the wing. Shay, catch it on the wing. Catch it on the wing and work out Dwight.
Shaq got 12.
Oh, Chris Paul orchestrating the foolery of Dwight Howard of Superman through the legs. Shaq going baseline and finishing. These guys had a lot of fun this summer over in Beijing, bringing home the gold medal, getting those nice rings at halftime.
Those are beautiful rings.
LeBron spinning his way. That'll count at a foul.
How about that degree of difficulty?
I'm thinking Mike Brown's probably thinking, all right, we've got 7:36 left. I'm going to put LeBron James in and see if we can make a quick run. Nice little pearl move in the lane, using the glass.
And if you put that to music, it'd be like a ballet dancer. Look at that footwork there, just going around, the body control, off the glass. Just a beautiful play by LeBron James.
Foul committed by David West. 3-point play, so the East now down 120-104. Parker being played by Harris. Gasol sets the screen.
Like Dwight Howard want to take out all these little guys out on the perimeter. A while ago, Kobe hit him for a three.
And West able to stuff. And here's Harris spinning and then gets it down low. Foul is called as Wade took the hit. But Wayne will go to the line. Foul is on Gasol. Let's check in with Craig Sager, who has worked his way onto the West bench. Craig.
Well, Shaq, you actually turned this game around when you went in there. You made 8 of your 9 shots, 17 points, dribbling between your legs, giving goes. Where are you getting all the energy today?
I had to admit to my man Cove and B. Shaw, felt like flashbacks. Every time I go down, Cove tell me, go to work. So I felt like, 99 to 02? Yeah, felt like back then. 03, 04.
You guys really haven't spent a lot of time since the team was broken up. Are you enjoying being Kobe's teammate again and making friendship, renewing your friendship?
We never had a lost friendship. Never had that. Respect is there. He has beautiful daughters. I got beautiful kids. Every time we see each other, it's friendly and all that. Everything was done purposely.
There could be a rivalry today, though. One of you two could be running for MVP. Who should get it?
I'm just glad to be here, brother. Glad to be here at the tender age of 37. I can remember last year when I wasn't here, and, people said I was done, so I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks a lot. That was a terrific dance you did during intros.
Thank you. That was freestyle off the top. My new name is the Big Jabberwocky.
Big Cactus and the Big Jabberwockies. Back to you, Mark.
Well, all is peaceful now if you listen to Shaquille O'Neal, although yesterday in an interview with Craig Sager, both admitted, yes, we had our ups and downs. I know Shaq a week ago said it was all a media ploy. There was never any problem, but that is obviously not the case.
Well, Kobe said the other day, I don't even want to revisit that at this particular time. So, I think that they're both sort of taking the high road right now. Most important thing, they're having fun out here today, and that's what it's all about.
This taking place during pregame warm-ups. We'll be back to Phoenix in a moment.
Well, who other than the Diesel? Look at the Dwight Howard talk a little trash here to Shaquille. Like the Harlem Globetrotters between the legs, the give and go. Chris Paul in the post, a little give and go, and the Diesel. Or the Big Cactus or the Big Jabberwocky or whatever. He finishes and is having fun today.
The West in possession. They have a 124-108 lead, just under 6 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Doug Collins, David Aldridge, and Craig Sager working the sidelines for this 58th NBA All-Star game. Kobe Bryant. So Kobe now has 25. He's 11 of 20. Got off to the fast start. In fact, attempted 10 shots in that first quarter.
Game just comes easy to Kobe. It doesn't matter if this is an all-star game, a pickup game, or he's playing for the Lakers. There's some players where the game just comes easy to them.
Well, he's got great talent, obviously, and he's strong-willed, but he's also the most fundamentally sound player in the game right now, too.
And here's Bryant getting it over the outstretched arm of Dwight Howard. Wade has to give it back. Johnson putting a move on Roy is stripped. Here's Bryant with James back. And Bryant shoots for three. LeBron with the rebound. And LeBron looks to go all the way. Switching hands in midair, but came up short. Paul, beautiful skip dribble.
You talk about the game looking easy. He had a quote the other day. He said, the NBA game is easier for him than the college game because of the three-point line and how much more spacing you have, and he can get to his place easier on the floor. I thought that was an interesting comment.
And nice numbers for Chris Paul. 10 points, 10 assists. Devin Harris way off. Howard able to keep it alive, so Dwight Howard has 11.
Let's see if the East can utilize that three-point line. A little bit over 4 minutes left in this game.
They're 1 for 11 in the second half.
Another assist for Paul, setting it up for Gasol. Kobe Bryant making a late run to capture the MVP award.
See the zone once again, just loading up the floor, forcing them to either drive and take a mid-range shot or take that long three. No place to go in that paint. And here's Dwight Howard showing Stan Van Gundy that Patrick Ewing is working on his range. So pick and pop now for the Orlando Magic.
He was looking for three-point territory, but had the foot on the line. David West able to slam it.
Dwight Howard starts taking that shot, they will be one and done in the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be tough for them without Jameer Nelson. He's been such a big part of that team. We'll see whether he can come back or not this year. Joe Johnson's still looking for that first hoop, if I'm not mistaken. There's Jameer Nelson. What a tragic thing for that young guy to get injured. He's such a big part of this team, this Orlando Magic.
Gasol with the follow. Jameer Nelson out with that shoulder injury, dislocated shoulder.
Well, that's one of those injuries, too, as you see Devin Harris on that backside where, you know, you might rehab it, but you jerk it the wrong way and it goes right back out of joint and you're right back and then needs surgery. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
Just under 3 minutes to play, 136-114. The West with the lead as Bryant backs it up on Howard, looks to go through him and lost it. Howard got the hand down and took the dribble away.
Now he wants to take Kobe.
Try to go to the crossover. That did not work well.
When good things go bad right there for Dwight Howard. Did he really think he was going to cross over one of the premier defensive perimeter players in Kobe Bryant?
Center court just a moment ago. Shaquille O'Neal passing the torch to Dirk Nowitzki. The 2010 NBA All-Star Weekend will be held in the Dallas metro area, February 12th through the 14th. American Airlines Center will host Friday and Saturday's events. And the brand new Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington will host the 59th NBA All-Star Game. And 2010 NBA All-Star Weekend will be televised exclusively here on TNT.
Now, I think I read something the other day when we were in Dallas that Mark Cuban said he hopes to have 100,000 people at that game.
Wow. Capacity will be in that area. Stoudemire and rebounded by James. Talking about the stats, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal as LeBron comes up short. How about Chris Paul with 12 assists and adds to the point total? He has 12 points, 12 assists, and only 1 turnover.
But Tony Parker with the lob to Chris Paul. Here is Dwayne Wade with a long three. That's the way he started the game now. But we've seen Chris Paul now at the end of a lob, and we've seen him in the post on a give and go with Shaquille O'Neal. So he's getting all kinds of plays and assists here today.
Parker. Rebound comes to Howard. And that pass broken up by Roy. Let's go over to David Aldridge. David.
Well, Terrell Owens, next year, the All-Star Game in your hometown, in your new stadium. What do you think?
Oh, man, it's going to be exciting. 100,000 plus seats in there. It's going to be really wild.
You know, this game this year, the West is dominating, but obviously you're a West guy now. Where are your loyalties here?
I'm just a fan of basketball. You know, I love basketball. We got a lot of friends, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq. So anytime I can come out and get the full experience of being a fan, then I'm here.
There you go. Back to you, Marv. Thanks very much.
I was Terrell Owens wearing those 3D glasses that they used to wear in theaters for movies, and now obviously 3D being shown on an experimental basis for television.
He likes to see things in, three-dimensional. What's wrong with that?
Watching what is happening in front of him in 3D.
T.O. wouldn't be T.O. T.O. wouldn't be T.O. Marvelous.
We're coming up on the final minute of play. The West with a 138-117 lead. able to break things open in the second quarter. They had that 19-0 run. The East did get back into it. Here's Roy with the setup for Stoudemire. Ernie Johnson and Eva Longoria discussing Ernie's script.
What is EJ doing?
Yeah, look at EJ.
All right, here's Paul, and he blew it on the breakaway, but no one else in sight, so he lays it home. Eva's saying, no, I don't think you should go with that opening line. That won't work. But you can make things better. That third paragraph I thought was a little weak. And here's Stoudemire finishing it off. Amar'e Stoudemire with 17 points. Kobe Bryant, the high man, with 27. Well, we said earlier they were playing defense. What's going on here? Off the backboard, and Brandon Roy puts it down.
Well, it's interesting. The other night, Sean Marion's last field goal for the Miami Heat before he got traded was a dunk that beat the Chicago Bulls. Amar'e Stoudemire gets a dunk here. A lot of speculation. Will his last field goal in this arena be for the Phoenix Suns, be a slam dunk? We'll have to watch over the next few days.
Well, this is the guy who's put his hat into the slam dunk competition for next year. Giving everyone a little preview.
Everyone stepping aside, the crowd urging LeBron to stuff. And he comes through with the request as time has run out, and the West has defeated the East. Paul fires one 146 to 119. Kobe Bryant, the high point man, with 27 in his 29 minutes, along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Shaq hits 8 of 9. Hit 8 in a row after missing his first attempt. 17 points. Stoudemire with 19. Chris Paul, 14 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds for the East. LeBron with 20. Paul Pierce with 18. And Dwayne Wade with 18 points.
All right, thank you very much, and well done, Phoenix. We've enjoyed bringing it to you on TNT, and now the MVP hardware to be presented by Commissioner David Stern.
Thank you, Phoenix, for a great all-star reception. Thank you, NBA players, for being the best in the world and being around the community all week. Thank you for entertaining us tonight. And there are co-MVPs who now each have 3 all-star MVPs to their credit. Join me in congratulating Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal as the co-MVPs of the 2009 NBA All-Star Game.
All right, guys, so whose mantle does this go on first?
I'm just happy to be here. It's probably my last one. I'm 37. I'm just glad coaches voted me in. I'm just happy Cole was looking for me today. All the other guys are looking for me today. Appreciate it. And I'm just happy to be here.
Shaq, this is a very entertaining day from you from start to finish. What got into you in the pregame intros?
Well, I just wanted to do something different. You know, my kids, they love the Jabberwockies. I love the Jabberwockies. They asked me to come do something with them. So, you know, I just wanted to be a little different.
Hey, Kobe, the last time y'all played together was June of 2004, so almost 5 years ago. What was it like to be on the same side with Phil Jackson again today?
No, it was fun. It was fun. You know, Phil diagrammed a couple of things for us to play two-man game like we used to. And you know, we went back to doing what we used to do, so it was fun.
And I know both of you have a great appreciation for the history of the game. Oscar Robertson was the MVP of the All-Star Game 3 times. So was Michael. Bob Pettit 4 times. You guys are in that elite company now. What's that mean to you, Shaq?
The big legendaries.
How about it, Kobe?
I can't put it no better than that, man.
Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, co-MVPs of All-Star 2009.